Hi everyone. Well, we've just had Easter, and so Easter blessings to you. The Lord is risen. I hope you know your response. He's risen indeed. Alleluia, alleluia. How are you travelling? What's happening for you? I recently heard a commentator talking about the COVID-19 situation, and it really struck me because he said it is for him the most dramatic, the most global and the most unusual situation that we as a world have encountered, certainly in his lifetime and certainly in my lifetime for sure as well. And he also talked about how some people are talking about that it's going to create a Great Depression. Well, it might, but in essence what it's creating at the moment is a great paralysis. And so a great standstill and at the moment, we're in that space. And for me, the big danger is our lack of connection. And because we're in our own little worlds. And if things are going fine, well, maybe that's okay. But if things are not going fine, then in our own little worlds can be very, very dangerous. And so I long to find ways to guide us to connect to God, and also to connect to each other. That's what's in my mind all the time. And that's what I'm thinking and wondering. And so if you've got ideas, then I really encourage you to share those ideas. Like I'm watching things on TV and the way in which different TV groups are connecting, like all the key characters in the TV shows are saying, we can get through this together, and hi, how you going? We can do this together, reminding us of what's most important. And so one thing that's really helping me is all the pictures that you have sent in. I mean, my purpose was to fill the church and to have a sense that it's not that our doors are closed, we're just operating differently. And so what I'd like to do now is just walk you around the church and just point out some of those pictures. And over there I can see pictures of Clara and Daniel. I see Jared, I see Raquel, and I see our youth group just on the front row there, a whole series of pictures of our youth group. And then sitting in that, going down that what we sometimes call left row, I see all the Lawses are sitting in their usual seats down the back, about 3/4 of the way down there. Up the front here, we've got the Andersons, and little Clara always sits there with Ian and Tara, and Gail and Brian, we've moved you down sitting right next to them. And I know Margaret Heslin nearly always sits up the front, especially when she's doing lecturing or First Communion. And then the Hooker family's nearly always there, second row back on Sunday night. And I can see Louisa, and I can see Talia, and Sienna's there as well, and Ashley's there as well. And so that's good. And the Archers are sitting in the row behind them, and just behind them is Julie Macaulay and her children, and also Justine and her little boys, or they're not little anymore, quite big. We've got the Gurneys in that seat, in that row as well. And as we go back on that side, I can just see family after family. The Humphreys are all sitting there, Matt and Deb and their children, which is beautiful. And it really warms my heart. And there's the Cartwrights and Bridget and Pat. Pat, you should be over playing music tonight, but that's okay. And then on this side, we've also got many of the people who use this side, and so the Barrys are sitting there, although Jared, I know you're also over there, so you're bilocating at the moment. It depends on where I want to look. And also just here we've got Rob and Kathy, usually in that area, and Sue Cheadle's also in that area. And I see Lois and Nev have come and sat next to you, Bob and Kathy. And as we go down here, the Roaches are here, but they vary where they sit. And like a lot of you do, you don't always sit in the same seats. But it warms my heart as I just look around and see all your pictures. And over here also, I can see Joe and Rosalind. They got their picture in, and it just goes on, and it warms my heart. Okay, we're over on this side of the church now and just looking at some of the people. And well, we've had the Ovens family sit in the very front row. Now, they haven't always sat there, but in recent times you have been coming into this area. And Nicole and her family, and there's Zar. I think he must have been taking the photo when he had that presented. And sitting over here is Faye and Bruce in their normal seats, and Laura and Tracy. I've got you sitting here, although you're often on the other side as well. And over here we've got Shane and Kerry and their children, and also some of their grandchildren are at their feet in a beautiful photo. I did mention them before, but I have Jo Woods and Roz, her daughter, sitting here. Oh, and the Dewberries are sitting up the front here today. They move up and down. I never know where they're going to sit. And over on this side, I can see Kevin and Rachel and their beautiful children sitting there as well. Teddy and Wendy with their beautiful children sitting in this section here. Pete and Christina Mannix, they're usually from, they go to Mass usually at Heathcote, but obviously they're giving us our picture. Well, I've got you sitting in that position today. And then as we come right down the back, there's some of the back seat dwellers who are very strong. There's the Bosco family who've got the back seat, as they ordinarily always have. And over here on the left is Gary and Maureen. Good to see you. You're in your regular seats as well. As we come down the back here, the Johnson family, we've got you sitting down the back, which you normally do. And further over on the far side there, we've got the Dodds family, and they're in their normal position, as is Kerry Lee and her family, and Dan, Kerry Lee and Dan, and Dara. They're in their regular position, and on it goes. And it's such a joy and it's such a pleasure for me to walk around and just to share those memories and memories of you, where you normally come and celebrate, and you're here in my heart. And so my main point is that I long to try to help you to continue to connect to God and connect to us as a faith family, and try to grow with us as a faith family. And so over the next week, I will be starting to share with you some of the plans I have, or some of the hopes that will help those involved in sacraments this year connect. And I long to be able to do that. And also I've got all the different groups, the PPC, the MLT, and even the liturgy group as well, trying to think of ways of helping us to connect to one another. So finally, I just hope that the experience of Easter has connected you to Christ and to the resurrected Christ, and to some of the blessings that Christ longs to share with us. Let's see if we can continue to make that connection and share that love and that life with one another. Look forward to seeing you this Sunday at our online Mass, and then continuing to explore together how we can connect. God bless.